Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back to another episode of Look Splendida podcast. I'm your host, Daniel. What are crystal grids? You might have seen them. If you don't know what they are, you might have seen them. So basically, or you might have heard of them. These are they can be objects, okay? They don't have to, but a crystal grid is like, it's the disposition that you put your crystals and stones like, okay? So a grid is like, basically the crystals and the stones, they're connected, not physically, but it's the way they are put. It creates a grid, okay? And you will see that. Obviously they're connected energetically because all of them produce energy, but it's the way they are dispositioned that makes it a grid, okay? Now you can make these grids on a dinner table, a kitchen table, on a seat, on the floor, on a stairwell, on steps, on the ground, on soil. It doesn't matter where you do the grid, okay? And also, it doesn't matter how many crystals and stones you use, okay? As long as you see some sort of geometric shape, that's a grid, okay? It could be a line only, okay? Either vertical, horizontal, diagonal, it doesn't matter. It's a line, it's a grid, okay? You can make it a circle, okay? A square, a triangle, and many other shapes out there. They're like people that do them, they do these crystal grids like in a very simple way, and there's others that make it like so intricate, so, I wouldn't say difficult, but it's just like so complex that like you look at them and go, wow, you did this, it's amazing. Like go out there on YouTube and look for crystal grid examples, okay? And you'll see what people are creating. It's just like mind-boggling, some of them, okay? So some people use like really heavy, also expensive crystals and stones. Others with simple ones, they've got a home. It's just like crazy, okay? But in a good way, okay? But right now in this video, I'm going to show you 3 examples of physical grids, okay? So objects that can be used for crystals and stones, but also candles as well, okay? But I'll let you know what exactly you can do, okay? So let's start with, sorry, some of these are very fragile. Let's start with this one, okay? Now, you say like, what? That's a grid? Well, it can be used as a grid. Obviously, this is metal, okay? It's a tray. It is a simple tray. Now, I chose this tray. Sorry about, there's too much light. Okay, hope this is better. I chose this one. I found it online, okay? Because of these circles that you can see here, okay? It's full of circles. Now, they're not really all perfect. I mean, in terms of size, yeah, but they're not really aligned. You can see like some of these, they're touching each other, like 1, 2, 3, they're touching each other. These two as well. These two as well, and this one is not aligned with these two, so it's not perfect, okay? it really isn't. It wasn't expensive, this tray, either, so I didn't really care for that, but I use the circles more for like a visual marker. Okay. Obviously, you don't need these circles. You can just use like a metal tray. Okay, and they're quite cheap to get, quite easy to get from the shop, from these shops that sell like very inexpensive products. Okay, I wouldn't advise. Well, if you're going to use only crystals and stones, a plastic one will do. Sure. Okay, but if you want to use also candles, then obviously do not use candles on plastic, at least not directly, because of the heat. They're gonna melt, and they're gonna melt. They might damage the tray. Okay, so I prefer the metal ones, at least the sturdy ones. Okay, so I know they're not gonna break so easily. Okay, and even if you use candles, and obviously the wax melts, you can just easily clean it off. Okay, with like you're washing your dishes. Okay, so warm water or hot water and soap, and off you go. Okay, this is an example. Okay, inexpensive. This one is a bit more expensive, and it's my favorite, and you can see why. This one is made out of stone. Okay, I'm not quite sure what stone it is. I bought it online. It's fairly thin, and at the back you've got these rubber, I don't know what you call them, but it's like so as when you put it on a surface, okay, so it doesn't really scratch the stone, okay, and it doesn't move as well. So this is stone. I don't know if it's basalt, I think that's how you pronounce it, basalt. But it's very fragile, so I only use it for special occasions at home. Okay. Clearly, this is not something for you to leave in a bag, in a satchel, whatever that is, in a travel bag, because it's quite fragile. And if it's a special thing, and I wouldn't say it was incredibly expensive, but it costs a lot more than a tray. So I only use it at home. Okay, plus it's a lot heavier than that. It's thin, but it's a lot heavier. It's stone. So also you've got these geometrical shapes. So you've got a circle, and then you've got circles. Okay, sorry, I can't really. I need to look at it directly. So you've got circles, and then circles, and then circles. So it's like circles within circles, and then you can make, obviously, where they intersect. You've got a rectangle. Okay, you've got a different shape here. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm not really great with these names. So obviously you've got the central circle here, where everything connects. That's the center. You've got a triangle. Okay. You've got another triangle. Okay. You've got all sorts of shapes. Some people call it like the flower of life. Represented here, you've got, I think this is the Metatron symbol, or geometric shape, the whole thing. I think that's the one it is. I haven't used this one in a long time. But you, what was I going to say? The symbol, the geometric shapes are very powerful. Okay, so if you're into spirituality, and even the occult, for example, you're going to hear a lot about geometric shapes. Okay, there's power in them, so if you can, use them. So that's why the grids are a quite powerful thing to do. Okay, obviously you don't need all of these shapes. You can make like very simple ones, just like a circle, a square, a triangle, a rectangle, whatever you feel like doing. It really is up to you. There's no right and there's no wrong. Okay, so this is another example, and I'll show you the last example, which is a more portable one. Okay, it is I would use this for traveling. Okay, so if you're staying in a hotel or somebody else's place, and you would feel the need to do some crystal grid work done. I would advise you to take something smaller, light, yes, and portable, obviously. So this is one of them. Okay, that's a good example. I don't know if you can. Let's see if we can. I don't know if the camera is going to focus or not. Let me see. Like this. Okay, so this one is quite portable, quite light. It's made of wood. Okay, very, very light. Sure, it does have the symbols, the geometric shapes. So you've got circles all around it. You've got squares, rectangles, triangles. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and it's you can see the line, so it's actually engraved in it. So there's grooves. So it just makes it even more, I don't know, more beautiful to me. So you can use this like for traveling, okay? And you can either populate the whole space with your crystals and stones, or you can just push like one stone. For example, I'll show you an example here. So I've got this pyramid. You can have this pyramid on top, in the middle. You can have this piece here on the side. You can have this piece here, and you can have this piece at the back, in the front. Or if you don't want to have like any in the middle, you can just do something like, I don't know, I'm just playing around like this. Okay, so it really is up to you. Okay, the imagination is as big and as beautiful as you would want it to be. Okay, there's no cap to your imagination. So be creative when you're doing these crystal grids. What was I going to say? Yeah, be creative. You don't need to go all out. Say, oh, I need to get like one of these grids, a physical grid, and I need to get all of these stones. Like, no, you do. If you want to start with what you've got right now. Okay, but if you want to wait until you get like specific stones or specific crystals and specific grids, why not? Sure, you can do that. But there's no right and there's no wrong way to do it. Okay, use your imagination. Go and find inspiration in other channels, in other videos, on the internet out there. There's many examples of how you can do crystal grids. That's it for today. I hope you like the subjects. I'll just ask you 4 things. Like the video, comment down below, share it, and subscribe. I really want to help as many people as possible, and that is only possible if you subscribe. Okay, that would really help me out a lot. Thank you very much once again, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care. Bye.